Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan, trader and technical analyst for the last 13 years. In this video, we're going to check in on the broader market. We'll talk about the continued rotation. There's two very distinct teams in the market, and I'm going to talk about being dead right, but still not making as much money as I should have. Let's get to the charts. All right, so we were watching this S&P 500 futures uptrending support line from yesterday. We need a little bit of a tweak there, drop it down a smidge, and it is still worth keeping an eye on. And overall, just a daily inside bar for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ futures. QQQ broke the high of yesterday, but the futures chart did not. So we're continuing to see our rotation. View the market like this. Big tech and semiconductors over here. And for me, that's QQQ, SMH, of course, the NVDA, Apple, etc. And then over here, you got XLF, XLV, IWM, and a part of IWM is all of our laggard sectors, XBI, JETS, ARKK, etc. These two teams in the market are inverse to each other very often. If you are observing the open, the first 10 minutes of the open, QQQ and XLF go inverse to each other almost every day, and then it starts to fade a little bit, and we go a lean bull or a lean bear. And I'm not going to go in depth into that right now because I could talk for 2 hours about it. But two teams, inverse. So the setup into today was I'm looking for the NASDAQ to bounce because the names that have led the way down, Google, Meta, NVDA, Netflix, they're in 4-hour oversold conditions. I'm looking for them to get a bounce going. And I know that I've been watching the inverse relationship, so if the NASDAQ's going to bounce, that means the financial sector is likely going to pull back. So yesterday I positioned short the financial sector and long Meta for that to set up. But trading's hard. I was right. Exactly what I was looking for happened. But Meta was the wrong name to choose. What could have been a clue to that? I don't know. Meta was a lead bull on the bounce yesterday. I was up 1.5% from my day trade. Look at the bounce yesterday on Meta into the afternoon and hitting the high of the day into the afternoon versus NVDA. NVDA hourly downtrend, lower highs still. And so then you get into today, and Meta does not perform for me on the long side. I was using Meta to try and capture the NASDAQ bounce, and NVDA shows up much stronger. And so I could have chose NVDA, Apple, Amazon, Google, any of those names. I mean, I would have been better off selling Meta at the end of yesterday and then just longing any of the names that I just mentioned at the open today. Could I have known? No, we could have opened higher and the NASDAQ bounce could have started overnight, but trading's hard. So still a nice profitable day. Ended up flipping these crypto stocks short. We'll talk about that a lot. It was a solid day, but just wanted to highlight where even though I had, the clear picture of the market and the relationships and the most likely scenario, I still did not make as much money being right as I should have. So inside bar, rotation continues. SPY just trading sideways right now, holding daily EMA 12, flat on the day. NASDAQ daily inside bar. Look at Apple. Apple, again, we know that Apple confirmed a weekly bull flag. We confirmed the downtrend straight into a bounce, lower low, straight into a bounce. That's classic bull flag 101. Pre-market, there was a lot of relative strength on Apple. It stood out glaringly. Apple was set to open green, and QQQ was set to open lower by $2. So Apple raised its hand pre-market and says, hey, I've got relative strength, and it kept it all day. A couple things to say about Apple. It's one of the top 3 most important stocks in the market for me. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, because of their weight in the ETFs. Number 2, if Apple's up at the highs, the broader market will not pull back in any meaningful way. You can't have fear if Apple is at the highs. It's just imagine if the whole market is an army and Apple is the lead bull general on the horse, and if it's leading the way, the army is going to follow. You got to see the general fall off the horse if there's going to be fear. So the weekly bull flag confirmed, and now Apple's just looking at all-time highs. We are 2% away from all-time highs, 2.1, whatever, 2.2. And it's just a really strong chart, right off daily EMA 12 into continuation. And so there are other possible weekly bull flags. Amazon is a weekly bull flag. The NASDAQ is a weekly bull flag attempt. The semiconductors. So just like Microsoft, remember, let's rewind in time a month. If Microsoft confirms the monthly bull flag, it's our bellwether for other names to confirm their monthly bull flag as well. QQQ then followed, everything then followed. Amazon, all these names followed Microsoft after it was the first one to do it. And so now Apple, same thing. Is Apple going to be the first one? And we're going to look back in a week and say, oh, everything's confirming weekly bull flags and Apple showed the way. I don't know, but the probabilities increase that that is a possible scenario here. Another thing with observations, again, the relationships, every day I'm staring at correlations. You see relationships between individual names. Within QQQ, within big tech, you've got Amazon and Apple correlating to each other and Google and Meta correlating to each other. This has been an observation that I've been watching for potentially years at this point. But again, look at Amazon. Lower high, lower low, right into a bounce. Lower low, right into a bounce. Same thing as Apple. Apple's just stronger. Meta and Google both had the 4-hour head and shoulders and rolled over into 8% pullbacks. They don't look anything like Apple and Google or Apple and Amazon. Compartmentalize these names in your brain. There are clues. Apple's breaking out, and I missed this one, but look, Apple strong right away. First 5 minutes, boom, here I am, lead bull. Look at Amazon. Amazon started weak. Amazon was down 1% in the first 5 minutes and then ripped 2% higher for a total of a 3% move. More than I thought. 3.7%. It was a laggard. Amazon was a laggard to Apple. On the bear side, last week, I forget which one led. I think it was Meta led the way down and Google followed. One led and the other followed. You get to know these relationships through observations, and they help make trading a little bit easier. They give you some clues. Again, it's all probabilities, and the probabilities get swayed a little bit if you're looking at these relationships in these similar names. It's all just pattern recognition. All right. So, is the NASDAQ going to be a weekly bull flag? It's absolutely on the table as a possibility. The bears need to prove to me that it's not a weekly bull flag by knocking the price back down. Real quick, we got another free ebook. Click the link in the comments of this video. Top 3 EMA strategies to master. Guide, videos, examples. Check it out. It's free. Good content. SMH, daily inside bar. Could this be a weekly bull flag? You bet it could be. I don't have high conviction it's a bull flag at this point, but I know it's a possibility. NVDA, as I mentioned, one of the better bounces. Again, just 4-hour oversold. So 4-hour oversold conditions to a bounce. Meta, 4-hour oversold. Bounce is much weaker. I do still have some of that position just to give it a bit more chance because I'm in the green on that position. Google, 4-hour oversold bounce. Netflix, 4-hour oversold bounce. I covered the remainder of my Netflix short first thing this morning in the 451s, knowing that we were real extended on the 4-hour. So now what? We're going to scout daily lower highs in Netflix, Meta, Google, NVDA as the most likely scenario. After the daily lower highs are set, can the bears continue the downtrend? Netflix, Google, and Meta have not confirmed daily downtrends yet. Well, I'll take that back. Some of them haven't. Netflix hasn't. But again, do we set the lower high and stay weak? Or is this putting in a temporary bottom? Is 4-hour oversold marking a weekly higher low? That's what the Google bulls certainly hope for. So continuing to watch the relationship, and QQQ, or I should say the NASDAQ futures and the S&P 500 futures need to break their inside bars bullish to shape up weekly bull flags. The S&P 500 hasn't even started weekly consolidation yet. Tesla, really strong morning. Inside bar bull break. Nice follow through over 290 through 239s. 3% almost. But remember the head and shoulders. Is this a right shoulder forming? Sure looks like it could be. What do we have to see? We need to see the bears confirm an hourly downtrend. We got space for it. So big move up, big pullback. If we confirm the hourly downtrend tomorrow, the probabilities for a daily head and shoulders will increase a bit. So I always like to have, these are the names I'm looking at if the broader market is bullish. These are the names that I'm looking at if the broader market is bearish. If I see weakness in the NASDAQ, if you know those bounces set daily lower highs, and if the NASDAQ sees an inside bar bear break, I'm scouting Tesla bearish to confirm the head and shoulders and set a weekly lower high into consolidation. I'm not going to take that short trade if the NASDAQ breaks its inside bar bullish. Healthcare, nothing going on, still strong. Daily uptrend remains our guide. Financial sector, so got the pullback I was looking for. The daily stair step broke into daily consolidation. I exited a third of my position, covered a third of that short, or exited a third of FAZ, the ETF, right at the low of the day, because that was hourly RSI right at 31 or 30. That's a back burner. To have the daily chart look like this and hit first hourly oversold conditions, that's a back burner trade. So again, back burners can be targets for longs and bounces. They can also be targets on profit taking for shorts. So now I've got to break even pretty much right at the high here, and I'll probably just leave this open as a hedge. If the market pulls back, I'll have a profitable position. If the market keeps heading higher, I'll stop out break even on this trade attempt, and my other bullish positions will keep benefiting. IWM pulling back. We held the low of yesterday. Well, we broke it by a few pennies, but we're right there. Again, looking for a daily pullback. No red flags if we maintain the uptrend. We'll see the response to first hourly oversold conditions if we get there. But look at all these laggard names. Again, trading as a group. IWM dropping. ARKK red, not by much, but red. XBI red, not by much. Jets red. TAN, I haven't been checking in on TAN, red. So again, all these names trading as a group. ARM broke daily support, key support that had held many times. We broke it straight into a V-shaped bounce. Just straight up. Look at this move off the low. The power behind this move, straight up 6%. That is characteristics of a bull flag. There's still the resistance zone in the 64s. I have, if the broader market is a weekly bull flag, if these are weekly bull flags that follow Apple, ARM's going to test all-time highs. And so we have the resistance zone in the 64s, clear hurdle that the bulls are going to have to get over. But best case scenario for the bulls is seeing a support break straight into a move up to test resistance. So we're looking for an hourly higher low, anything above the low of today, and then we'll see if the bulls are able to break out over that resistance level. And again, if you clear 65, we'll call it, it's just all-time highs. And I know that big bulls love to run things in blue sky breakout when there is price discovery. And so again, this name will remain a top watch for a long time. Well, for a while. Cannabis names, MSOS, daily inside bar. Don't forget the most likely scenario in the absence of news is a longer-term 2-week lower high and equilibrium. I'm looking for that unless we get news. So no sign at this point of the top, but inside bar. We'll watch daily EMA 12, which has held the last bunch of back tests. Where was the red flag on CGC? We started the morning really strong. How could we have known that we would turn around like this? Posted in the chat room in the morning, if we're going to see continuation, you know, a lot of people have this mindset, it's jealousy, whatever it is, where you choose a stock. This is my stock. This is the favorite. And then everything else sucks. And no, you bash everything else. You know, CGC is my play, but TLRY is junk. It makes no sense. The clue was both, they're on the same team. Both CGC and TLRY have to break the high of yesterday as soon as possible to give confidence in continuation. CGC broke the high of yesterday and got followed through to the tune of 8% right away. TLRY double topped. The red flag was TLRY failing resistance to the penny, which it did right away, and then rolling over. So we knew by first 10 minutes of the day, there's your red flag. And again, you don't see it on CGC, you see it glaringly on TLRY. You've got to watch so much. If there's anything that you take away from my videos, aside from really good hair, it's that relationships. You can get clues. That's the theme of this video. Relationships give you clues. Today, Apple gave clues for Amazon. TLRY gave clues for CGC. Dollar's still getting its daily bounce going. So still holding on, still watching for a weekly lower high, but no sign of it. Metals still struggling to bounce. 4-hour downtrend guide. Again, the metals are giving longer-term red flags. I'm going to look for a daily lower high to be the result of the next bounce. I will be taking some positions off on the next daily bounce in my metals and miners. Still nice profit, but definitely gave back a big old chunk of that profit. So 4-hour downtrends are our guides. And then we zoom out and scout daily lower highs. Oil, weekly bear flag confirmed. Energy sector still real weak, remember? Long term, I'm looking for the energy sector to be a monthly rising wedge. I'm looking for 4-month long-term consolidation. The energy sector has been a 4-month stair-step pattern for years. I'm looking for that to break. Oil's doing what the bears want to see. Energy sector is a weekly bear flag. I did get stopped out right near the high. But I also don't really trade the energy sector, so I'm not feeling the FOMO much. We'll see if the bears can break 82.11 to confirm the weekly bear flag. See the EMA's cross bear. Still going to look for a monthly higher low. So again, this may take a while to play out. If we hold monthly support, we'll have to confirm a monthly downtrend to really roll over, but the bears have control of the short term on the daily and the weekly time frame. All right. Observations, the art of observation. I think that's one of our course sections. So much of trading and understanding markets is just watching. Do good things. These band names are Psychedelic and Neil Francis.